Hey everyone, Pinoy X here once again, back with another Monster Hunter video. It's late night for me, so I'm doing this as quietly as possible, but we're gonna be talking about the latest Monster Hunter Rise trailer, known as the Rampage trailer, which showcases the new mechanic coming up in the game, as well as some new and returning monsters for Monster Hunter Rise. Right off the bat, let's talk about monsters here. The first one we're gonna talk about straight away, the Rakna Kadaki, the spider-like monster that we've been seeing so much of in the previous trailers. We finally got some gameplay footage of it, and it uses webs like your usual spider, and it also has fire-based capabilities. More than likely it gained that from living in volcanic regions. But one of the key things that they showcase here that we have not seen in previous trailers is the fact that the Rakna Kadaki does have an offspring known as Rachnoids, which could interfere with the hunt against this monster. So this is one of the key things that's really gonna make this a very difficult fight for some hunters out there who might not be able to deal with multiple spider-like creatures crawling all over their body as they're trying to take down the Rakna Kadaki. So keep that in mind. Arachnophobia is gonna kick in quite well with this particular monster. The other new monster introduced in this game is known as the Almadron, or at least that's how I think it's pronounced. I don't know yet, but we will eventually find out when Monster Hunter Rise comes in. But I'm gonna pronounce it as Almadron for the time being. Now, Almadron is interesting because it's a Leviathan, but unlike the Leviathan revealed so far, which is Mizutsune, this one has the ability of mud, much like that of Geratodus, but far more advanced. It was creating mud pillars all over the place. It tried to trap a Volfango, which was really satisfying for me, and I really enjoyed the trailer for this monster. I can't wait to see more of it. Those mud-like abilities that it shares with the Geratodus, they're definitely becoming more and more prominent with this one, and I really like the fact that there's a monster powerful enough to showcase the power of mud in this game, because let's be honest, Geratodus did not do it justice. That's just my opinion on it. Moving on from the new monsters, we have two returning monsters that have made their return in Rise from previous titles not seen in World and Iceborne. The first one is known as the Vasarios. Vasarios has been around since the very first Monster Hunter title, and this creature is quite an old veteran, despite the fact that this creature in and of itself is meant to be a juvenile of yet another type of flying wyvern, which is known as the Gravios. Now, Vasarios on its own has the ability to hide its body in volcanic regions, and some people can easily mistake it for a rock-like structure. However, because of how bright the rocks on its bodies are, it can stand out quite well, so just keep your eyes out for it if you're looking for the monster in certain areas. Having said this, in terms of its overall combat capabilities, the monster is mostly a physical fighter, but you do have to watch out every once in a while where this creature could create small explosions across its body in order to take down hunters. Alongside this, the creature can also generate either a noxious gas or some form of sleep-like gas in order to take down hunters. So those are the key things you want to watch out for: the explosive abilities of Vasarios alongside the sleep or poison gas. Now, the other monster that was introduced in this trailer is going to be the Vulvodon. Now, Vulvodon in and of itself is an introductory monster to the volcanic regions, which is called the lava caverns here, by the way, and there's not really much I can say about it. It's a monster that paralyzes you with its very stretchy tongue, but outside of that, its combat abilities is very similar to that of Arzuros. It's a fanged beast and an introductory monster. It does also have the ability to literally fart on you in order to cause your hunter to go into the old stinky mode that some of you might not be familiar with in World and Iceborne, because this was a previous generation Monster Hunter mechanic. But aside from that, yeah, it's an introductory monster. So there's not really much else I can say about Vulvodon at this point. Better for you to experience the monster in the game, and you'll start to notice what I mean when I say that this creature is a beginner monster. Now, moving on from the monsters, we have the new Rampage gameplay coming up in Rise as well, and this thing is hype. I actually can't wait to try it out. Like, there's monsters after monsters after monsters attacking Kamura Village's fort, and it was just intense. There were so many things going on there. It was like facing off against an army of large monsters, and you're just thinking, wow, I might not even be able to survive this. It was just chaotic, but I love that kind of chaos. It was that beautiful to look at. Now, one of the key things I noticed here is that given what was happening in the whole Rampage scenario, it did make me think about one particular lore that people are debating right now on whether or not it actually exists in Monster Hunter lore, and I'll talk about that in the near future. But the Rampage kind of portrays what I think this piece of lore looks like, so I'm gonna cover that in a future video, but for the time being, I think that the portable team might have been inspired by a previous lore that they created for Monster Hunter, and they basically tried to bring it back into Monster Hunter Rise to some degree. Now, after the whole Rampage scenario was happening, there was also a moment that really caught me off guard, which is the part where they introduced the Apex Arzuros. Oh my goodness, they're bringing back the Apex monsters, and I'm already having flashbacks of Apex Rajang coming back into the game. Oh dear, we're gonna have some nightmares of the Rajang being an Apex and throwing the locale at you. And yeah, when that came up, it did actually make me think about one particular Elder Dragon that could make a return into Rise, which is the Gore and Shigara Magala. Yes, the Gore Magala is considered to be Elder Dragon as of 5th generation Monster Hunter now, and it could be returning in Rise because the Apex monsters were actually part of its Frenzy virus mechanic, so we could see the return of that creature, although from what I can see on the Apex Arzuros, it doesn't look like it has the Frenzy virus. There could be something else causing it to go into the Apex state, meaning that there could be other means for a monster to reach the Apex state within Monster Hunter Rise. Finally, let's talk about Hinoa and Minoto. I was not expecting this. One moment you're seeing two maidens singing their voices away beautifully across Kamura village. Next thing you know, they're gonna destroy monsters, pierce their butts, and just completely and utterly annihilate them. That was out of the blue, and I really enjoyed that moment. There's just some super hype stuff coming up in Monster Hunter Rise, and I can't wait to try them all out. And that's pretty much all I have time for regarding the latest trailer for Monster Hunter Rise and all the information that I can talk about, at least thus far revealed in this trailer. What do you think about the trailer for the Rampage in Monster Hunter Rise? Let us know in the comments below some of the parts that you really enjoyed with this trailer, some of the parts that you're a little bit iffy about, or just what you think about it in general. Again, let us know in the comments below what you think about the latest trailer for Monster Hunter Rise regarding the Rampage. Now, with all of that being said, if you enjoyed these videos, please consider leaving a like on the video itself and subscribing to the channel, as well as hitting that bell icon so you can go ahead and catch up on any future Monster Hunter content that I might be doing or any other games that I might be playing in future. Until then, I hope you enjoyed this video, thanks ever so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Onward and upward.